Welcome to our 2022 Wildwood X-Lite 273 QBXL. We're going to start right in the back bumper here. Just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Just take note of those two ears and the adapter here. That's all be hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the back bumper back here just to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a little bit cleaner and a little bit fresher. And that cap just presses back into place. A step forward and you're going to find your stabilizer jack. You'll find them in each corner of the unit. What they're going to do is they're just going to run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and they'll just prevent any sort of sway or bounce that you got in the unit right now. Keep things firm while you're out camping. Addition to that is your JT strong arm here, so you have that T-latch. You just want to loosen that off whenever you're running your stabilizer jack. Just allows the two tubes to telescope inside of each other. Once you do have it in place, you'll just tie that down, and that'll just lock it up and prevent any sort of forward and back movement as well. Step forward and we get your power inlet here. So as you pop that on open, you get that little notch down in the bottom corner here. It's going to line up with that notch there. You can press it in, give it a little eighth turn that'll lock it into place, and then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it down. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end here. Most campsites are going to have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to a standard outlet, you've got the power to do so. Sewer system right up from there. So the cap, you're going to kind of press it in, give it that turn, and it pops on out of there. You see it's got the same ears that your sewer hose had, so that'll attach the same way, where you're just pressing it on, giving it the turn. That's that. On the left, you get a black valve. So that black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet. So that's, of course, going to be your dirtiest water. So when you're dumping your tank, you're going to want to dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray tank. So that gray tank's filled from your sinks as well as your showers. So typically, cleaner water. We'll dump that last just to help keep that hose as clean as possible. And towards the front of the unit, we got one end of your storage compartment here. So as you open that up, you can see it just goes straight through to the other side. The customers also opted to go with a weight distribution hitch, so we just got that stored in here for them. And then right beside that, we got your water hose, and inside of there, you'll find that park adapter. So 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Down from there is your other stabilizer jack. The only difference here is that your JT strong arm goes towards the front and center of the unit. Then up front, you can see that little white box back there. That's your battery disconnect. So with that keyway up, that's currently it turned on. If you were to turn it counterclockwise, you can pull that out of there, and that's your battery then disconnected from the system. So for storage, you want to do that. Any other time you want that turned on. Battery is housed inside of this box right there. So as long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin two-tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. If you loosen off these two knobs here, you can push them back, open it up, and you get access to your two propane valves. They're just teed into the one regulator. So you're just going to run off of one tank. Once things stop working, you just start opening up the other tank and get the other one filled. In front, you get a power tongue jack, so it's just got that little cover there, just a little drawstring in the back. Light switch on the left, up is up, down is down. This little plug right there, you can open that up, and it gives you access to that manual override, so if your battery's died, you can still run it up and down. Side of the unit, you get your other under your storage compartment there. So this guy's a dry erase surface. So if you got a marker, you can mark down whatever you need. Laundry hamper here, so we can show you that from inside. Right behind all that, we've got your overrides. So that one kind of S-shaped one, that's going to be for your tongue jack up front. The one down below it is for running all of those T's on the JT strong arms, and the one down at the bottom there is for all of your stabilizers. So just a standard 3/4 inch end. Couple steps back, right by the entrance door, we get your hot water tank here. So that keyway, you're just going to line that up and you can pop it on open. Control for turning it on with electricity is just down in the bottom corner. You get that switch to turn it on. For turning it on with propane, we get a switch inside of the unit. Once we go ahead and do that, I will go over reset procedure. The button that I'll refer to is right here. Before we turn it on though, whether it be with either source, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. Make sure that shot of water comes out. That bit of water coming out is just letting you know that tank is full. It's safe to fire it up and you're not going to burn anything out by doing so. For putting this cover back in place, you get the two posts in the bottom. You're going to line them up with the two holes. Press it up into place and just lock it down with the keyway. Right beside that, we got your fresh water tank inlet. So you're just going to take your water hose and plug it into there, turn on the water, and it fills up your fresh water tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there. Straight down below, you're going to find the drain for that tank. You just got that valve, you open that up, it drains out the tank. Straight up from there, we get your two exterior speakers. Right in between them, we've got your stove vent. So of course, propane stove inside is putting off fumes whenever you're using it. So you just want to make sure this flap here is opened up so that our fan inside can evacuate our fumes. Once we're done, we can just press it into place. You hear it click, just kind of prevents any dust from kicking up there. Down from that, we got the exhaust-free furnace. So if you're ever running a furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Towards the back, as marked by this sticker here, we've got your low point drains. So just a couple of valves here, you can just open those up. It just allows the water system to drain itself out. Purpose of that would be if you're leaving the unit for a while and you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can just drain it out before you leave. Or if you're getting ready to winterize the unit, you can just drain all that water out before pumping antifreeze through. GFI protected outlet back here. Straight up above that is your cable and satellite inlet. Right, so if you want a TV outside, you can. Kind of an exterior kitchen back here as well. Magnetic latch holds it open. You get the 120 volt fridge. So as long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Beside that is your griddle. So that just slides on open. And then right in the back here, you get that little stop, so you can slide that open. Just prevents you from slamming it shut accidentally while you're using it. And then for your hose here, you're gonna pull that black collar back, then you can open it up, and then right in the back, here's your connection for it. You're gonna pull the collar back again, just press it into place and lock it down. And then towards the back of the units, you get the little dust cap there, we'll pull that out, and then you can push the brass collar back, attach the hose, and then you also just get a little valve back here as well. So with that valve opened up, you cannot undo that quick connect, so it's just kind of an added safety. You do have to close off the flow before you can disconnect. So with that all set up, we can come to the knob now and kind of press it in, turn it past light, and you just kind of want to click it repetitively like that, just to clear out the air from the propane line. And then once it does, you can see she fires right up. Once we're done, just press it in, turn it up to off, let it cool down, and then we'll take the hose out. So again, you're closing off that valve, push that back, stick our dust cap in there. And then for the hose, I just like to attach it to itself. Just ensures that absolutely nothing's getting inside of there. Undo our latch and slide it back away. There you go. Right up above that, you got a water hose here, a little garden hose. This is for your outside sprayer, just right here. So that pops on open, you'll see a little ear hole on the other side. It's gonna line up those ears there. You can line those up and press it in, give it a lathe turn, and it clicks into place. And then you just have the little coiled hose here with the garden end there. Simple as that. Once you're done, you're gonna kind of press it in, give it that turn back, and you can disconnect it. And then you just wanna kind of stretch it out, make sure that you drain all that water out before storing it back away. On the back of the unit here, we've of course got a spare tire. Right beside that, we've got a black tank flush. So you may notice over time, after having gone and dumped your black tank, when you know for a fact it is empty, your monitor panel might still be reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of that tank hanging between the probes, causing that misread. So what you're gonna do is just take your water hose and plug it into there, open up your black valve and turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank and remove any sort of debris. Beside that's your city water connection, so you're just going to take your water hose and plug it into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Then right up top here, we get a cable and satellite inlet. So the left side is cable, right side is satellite. So just a coax cable plug into there, fires up at your TV location. Then straight up from there, you're going to find your rear observation camera. So if you're looking to go that route, it'll mount right there. So I'll make our way inside of the unit. Door's just on a friction hinge, so as you open it up, it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. To bring our stairs out, you want it wide open. You can pull that blue slider over to unlatch it and slide the steps out. If you need to change the length of your legs, you're just going to push that tab there and you can extend or retract your legs. Now as we come inside, first things first is going to be your fire extinguisher there. So that's standard, pull the pin, point and shoot. Right up from there, you've got this dimmer switch, so as you touch that, it turns on all of the lights. Press and hold, it'll dim them down. Continue pressing, it dims them back up. And then just release at any point to choose that level of light. These light switches on the right side here and across the middle. The one on the right is going to do an accent light above your slides, a bit more visible once they're opened up. Light switch on the left does your awning light outside. Bottom left here is your awning itself, so press and hold the bottom of that and your awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down as well as the gray of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you were to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the fabric will be underneath that tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's a flap there, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyway, so what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, and you're just going to kind of pull in on it. And then tighten down that knob, and you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure the knobs are loosened off and the arm's fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold the top of that button and that awning will make its way back in. And also just real quick, while you've got that awning light on, it does turn on your speaker lights here. And so again, just while that awning's coming in, we're watching to make sure that our fabric is over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending those arms. There we go. So the switch on the bottom right there, that's your slide. Just press and hold the bottom, slide makes its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, we're going to hear a couple of whines from the motors and then they'll turn themselves off automatically. There you go, the two red switches on the left there, so the one on the right does your water heater. So as you turn that on, you get that little red light there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light will go out. It'll try that 3 times. If after the third try it hasn't fired up, it's at that point that the light will come on and stay on, so that then you'll be going and using that reset button that we'd shown you. So stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know the tank is good. The water pump's beside it, so turn that switch on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. And then up top we get your monitor system. So on the left we got battery, so you can see we're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to a third, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Up above that you can see our pre-wired for solar, so if you go that route, your charge controller will be mounted right there. And then just real quick, we'll head up into the bedroom here. So through the door and your light switch is on the right. This compartment here, if you open that up, you'll find it's your laundry hamper. Blinds throughout the unit are all just these slow rise style, so you just kind of pop them and they go on up. Except for that one, of course. This one will. Right, so just kind of sits there. If you leave it, pop it, and goes back up. And then the linen closet here, so as you open that up, you got a little power outlet on the side. It is accessible from the head of the bed, so you kind of CPAP access, they call it. USB outlet. And if we pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to that front storage compartment. Same sort of CPAP access on this side here. And then for this window here, pull that red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle there, hop on out, and that's your emergency exit. And then behind me is a TV backer, so if you're mounting a TV, it's going right there. Power outlet for it, cable and satellite outlet. And then the entertainment area here, so of course just utilizing the same TV backer, just screws up right there. All your wires are run down through and you get your power outlet on the left. Antenna outlet in the center here, so if you just turn that button on right there, it turns on that light letting you know the antenna's turned on. That'll just kind of help clear up your stereo signal as well. Up above that is your cable and satellite outlet, and you're also pre-wired for Wi-Fi. Stereo down here, so the power button there, turn it on. Pretty straightforward. So zone 1 is your outside set, zone 2 is your inside set. AM, FM, just cycle through all of your bands. USB right in the front there. Bluetooth, connect to your phone, and then source, just hit that to cycle through everything else. Press and hold source, you can get into all of your settings. And then if you press the power button, that'll mute it. Press it again, unmute, press and hold to turn it off. Down below that's your fireplace. Power button on the right there. Center right, you get that flame color. In the center, you have that bottom illumination. Center left, you have your temp, so low and then high. And then your timer of 30 minutes up to 9 hours. Power button, turn it back off. Some storage off to the side, and the other one as well. And then your slide outs here. So your lights are just on their own center push buttons on both sides. And then really just the chase lounge here. So we got that poster there to kind of show all your different setups. You can have the dinette, you can have the chase lounge, or the full bed. So of course we've got it set up as just the dinette right now. Really the only major piece is this back cushion here. So as it comes out, you can see it's got the legs there. They sit inside of those pockets. If you flip this around and have it come to the dinette side, you have a couple more pockets on this side here. It'll sit down into those. There we go. And there's two cushions here. Little kind of filler goes to the back. And then you get the one to match the couch. And there's your lounge. This guy does also fold down, so of course you just be getting rid of that kind of back piece there and taking your dinette, and it'll wiggle up out of the table legs, and then you can lay the dinette down, fill it in with the back cushions, create a bed, and then this guy just folds down here as well to finish off the full bed. Underneath you're going to find some storage with some bins there. Same sort of storage underneath the dinettes here. Same thing on the other side. Then in the kitchen, hot and cold water at the sink, of course. You do get the fold-up cover as well. Storage down below. If you're looking to winterize the unit yourself, once it comes time, that panel right there just has a screw in the bottom center. You pull that out of the way and you get access to your hot water tank. A couple of drawers here as well. And then right down there, that is access to your water pump. So that panel will just come out, screw on the left and the right. Up above the counter, you get a little light there, center push button again. Up above that, a little bit of storage. So inside of that binder there, you're gonna find all of your remotes, any manuals, anything like that for the unit, you'll find right in there. And beside that, we've got your microwave. So of course it opens on up, pretty standard, just like home. Down below that's your range vent, so the light and the fan. So this is that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up to evacuate our fumes. The bifold cover just flips on back. Press the knob in, turn it over to high, hit it with a sparker, and she fires right up. Well, just mention that the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the unit for a while, can take a minute to fire up, just because it's going to have to clear all the air to the propane lines. Button on the right there turns on all the knob lights as well as the oven light. Oven just opens on up. Knob on the right, you press in, turn it over the little flame, hit the sparker, and you can see that pilot light gets going. Once you get it going, you just want to hold the knob in for another couple of seconds, then you can release and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature and she fires right up. Once you're done, just turn it back down to pilot. But if you're leaving the trailer or going traveling, you just want to make sure it's right off. 12 volt fridge beside it. Up top is your freezer, temp control in the back. Down below is your fridge, temp control top and center. Return air for your furnace down below, so if you're ever running a furnace, you just want to make sure that's not blocked off. And right around the corner we got your thermostat. Just press that bar to wake it up, it'll start from off, then you can go into fan. So fan low is just moving air at the low fan. Fan high is just moving air at the high fan. Cool high is going to have the compressor cut in and out as needed, leaving the high fan on all the time. Same idea on cool low, compressor in and out as needed, low fan all the time. Cool low auto is now going to become an on-demand system where both the compressor and the fan will cut in and out as needed. And with that air conditioner going, you basically got two different options. You can have these two louvers here closed, in which case we're using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air. Or you can open them up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want these open, cool off this air as quickly as possible, then you can start moving the air throughout. After that, it'll just come into cool high auto, so at that point it just allows it to use the high fan. After that, it comes down into heat, so turn off the air conditioner and turn on the furnace. Furnace will be moving its air through a bunch of little black portals that you've seen throughout the units. Temp selection is just with your arrows there. Press that bar again after heat, comes into off. Whoops. And then it just cycles back around. Straight down from there is your LP detector. It's propane's heavier than air. It'll sit on the floor. That guy will detect it and start going off just like the smoke detector. Then into the bathroom. Light switch is right up on the wall. Straight down from there you got your toilet. This flush is just on the right side. G-Fire protected outlet up on the wall. Test on the bottom. Reset on top. Medicine cabinets here. So as you open that up, you can see you got a little tongue on the side there. Just holds onto this elastic on the side as your travel latch. Down below that's your sink. So of course hot and cold water. Bit of storage down below. Just being mindful of our drains and our water lines. Then behind me we've got your shower. So this is just magnetically latched shut, as well as magnetically latched shut open. Right. Hot and cold water, standard head and hose. Above my head you get a roof vent, so you just turn on that knob to open it up. Then in the back corner you get a switch, turn on the fan. Then you get some storage here, and then a little drawer. Then down from there you got your converter, so press the top and center, she pops on open, you get all of your breakers down the middle. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. And then on the right side you get all of your fuses. Whenever a fuse pops, you'll get a little red LED right beside it letting you know exactly which one went. Now lastly, the back bunk room. Come into here, all of your lights are on their own center push buttons. You also got lights above the bottom bunks. This coach here is the same coach you got up front. It does fold down. And then just straightforward bunk room. Around in the wall here, you do have TV back, I believe, up on the wall. Yep. Power outlet for it, as well as the cable and satellite outlet, and then just the USB there. Same emergency exit back here that you had in the front bedroom, and simple as that. Got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.